At the end of last season, Juventus were given a 10-point deduction which saw them go from 10th to 7th. There was also reports they could potentially be relegated to Serie B after breaches of financial fair play. That was off the pitch, but on the pitch there was little to no success. Juventus hadn't won a trophy since Cristiano Ronaldo left the 2021 Coppa Italia, and they hadn't won Serie A since 2020, or even got remotely close. And add to that, in the summer, experienced players leaving for free transfers such as Di Maria, Quadrado and Bonucci, Juventus were in a tough place. Then you fast forward to January of 2024, Juventus are top of Serie A, albeit Inter Milan have games in hand. Nonetheless, Juventus have been brilliant this season. They've only lost one game in all competitions, and they're well and truly in the race to win the Scudetto. This is how Juventus have proved everyone wrong. If you do enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new. Even after the points deduction last season, Juventus would finish 7th, qualifying for the Conference League, but the club agreed a deal with UEFA. As punishment for their breaches of financial fair play, they would vacate their spot in the competition. On face value, you would think this is a bad thing, but it is the Conference League. The money isn't the same, so they're not losing a lot. If they were to be kicked out of the Champions League, they'd be missing out on a lot of money, but without the Conference League, they get less games and more time to focus on trainings. Without the distraction of a European game on the Tuesday or Wednesday, or in the Conference League's case, a Thursday, Juventus have more time for training sessions and to prepare for their upcoming matches, completely focusing on domestic football. Obviously, Juventus would prefer to be playing in the Champions League, but for this season, it gives them a unique benefit that the teams around them don't have. Inter Milan, who they are battling the title for, are playing in the Champions League round of 16 versus Atletico Madrid. That's a distraction for Inter, but Juventus can put all their energy into the league and cup competitions. So what have Juventus achieved in Serie A this season? Like I've mentioned, they've only lost the one singular game, a 4-2 loss to Sassuolo in September. They've since avenged that loss just a couple of days ago, beating Sassuolo 3-0. After 22 matches, they've scored 36 goals and only conceded 13, the second best defence in the league. And not including that loss to Sassuolo, the max goals they've conceded in the game is 1. So the defence throughout the season has been very reliable. They don't concede many goals, and as Sir Alex Ferguson said, defence wins you titles. However, up front, they haven't been that reliable. But in recent games, it looks like that might potentially change, as Dusan Vlahovic has entered some great form. In his last 6 games, he scored 7 goals along with 2 assists. The Serbian's time at Juventus has been hit and miss, but if he can really continue this form for the last 6 months of the season and really be a key player in Juventus' fight for the Scudetto, that will endure yourself to the Juventus fans. Now let's take a look at just how Juventus have set up tactically this season. For the majority of the season, Juventus have lined up in this formation, a 3-5-2, but for the most part in games, they do not have the ball. They're 12th in Serie A for possession, so left wing back and right wing back become left back and right backs, and a lot of the time one of the strikers tends to drop in to make it a 5-4-1. What Juventus want to do is keep the opposition out on the wings. They do not want them getting anywhere near the centre and will try block the team. So theoretically, if a player is on the ball in this area, they can really only go backwards to one of his centre backs or switch a ball, which the right wing back will press. The right centre mid will come across, and so will all the other midfielders, not allowing any team to do anything. And if a ball is eventually played back, the striker that is still up will chase it, hoping to win it back with lots of space there, and will eventually score a goal. When Juventus do eventually win the ball back, they always like to attack the space, and most of the time this comes from the left, whether it be Kostic or Chiesa. Most of the time Chiesa. Both Kostic and Chiesa have created Juventus' most chances this season. The player will run down the wing, either getting a cross off to the striker or getting a corner. Juventus will do this by literally just running at the opposition. A lot of the time there's not a lot of passes in their build up, it's just straight running into space. Although Juventus can go games without having the majority of possession, they still create more chances than the team they're playing, because when they win the ball back, they're quick and effective at creating chances. This Juventus team is incredibly solid defensively. They're very hard to score against and they effectively create chances. The only problem is they've averaged 1.7 big chances missed per 90 this season. They're not clinical enough. But like I've mentioned in this video, in the last couple of games, Dusan Vlahovic is seemingly hitting form. If he continues this, I think they have a real shout to win Serie A. But how can they do this? Well, they are currently top of Serie A. I'm assuming Inter Milan will be Fiorentina and they will still have a game in hand on Juventus, but they can really get an edge on Inter if they can beat them this Sunday at the San Siro. For me, it's a must-win game for Juventus, because if Inter win it and they win their game in hand, they'll be 7 points clear of Juventus. They would have to have a massive slip up for them not to win Serie A. But if Juventus win it, and we'll just say Inter win their other game in hand, they will be 1 point behind Inter and it will be a very close title race. From the point they were at last year to where they are now, really into the battle for the Serie A title, to win their first league title in 4 years, it really is an incredible accomplishment. And I think Juventus, even if they don't win the league, will just be happy to qualify for the Champions League, and it looks like they will certainly do that. All in all, it's been a very good season for the old lady. Even if they don't win the title, I think they have proved a lot of their doubters wrong and are still one of the best teams in Italy. But that is just my opinion. Let me know what you think. Have you been surprised by Juventus this season? Can they win Serie A? Let me know what you think in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you are new. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.